Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Shadow Tavern. My name is ShadowFox2122, and today I'm bringing you some Star Citizen gameplay. Now, I'm currently in the Persistent universe, which is the actual part of the game, and I'm bringing you a ship that I currently don't own, but managed to get my hands on. And by managed to get my hands on, I mean steal. No, I mean I literally stole this ship. But didn't kill anyone, so yeah. Now I am at Port Olisar because I need to have some sort of relative freedom, and I'm sorry if those are pretty loud. I'm pretty sure I checked the audio and it should work fine when it's just the ambiance, but I'm pretty sure when like the Port Olisar security guards and everything else kind of talks, you know, it'll be a little louder, so I apologize for that. But yes, so this is our first taste at one of the larger ships in the game. Now, the Starfarer is basically a very large hauling ship. It's kind of fuel, you know, and then, as you can see here, I'm actually kind of in the main hangar cargo area, which I'll go ahead and show you. I'll go ahead and show you the ramp right here. So this is the ramp, and for obvious reasons in Star Citizen's bugginess, I'm not going to go out yet, because I at least want to get you guys the most amount of, well, sort of tests done as possible. Like, the interior is what I mean. So I'll go ahead and close this back up, just in case. Just in case someone else wants to come and steal what I stole. But yeah, so assuming that I was on the outside, I'd come up that ramp, and I'd walk into this, and we're just going to look. Right here would be where the cargo is. This is kind of where they keep the mag locks and whatnot. You got your kind of free area right over here that you walk through, and then you've got some chairs for additional passengers, marines, you know, whatever you really want. But as you can see, I mean, it's a large cargo hold. You can hold a lot. Over here appears to be some miscellaneous storage. I'm not entirely sure if that's what it is, but it looks like this is like the cargo netting. Actually, kind of looks like you have a power outlet there, almost. I don't think that's what it is, but, you know, whatever. These could be some sort of lockers, or it could be the electronic device. Over here you have the processor control, which I'm assuming this is like, you know, the ship computer, basically. So then, we'll go ahead and, yeah, this over here is kind of a nice place just to hide if you are a, you know, stowaway or whatnot. It works sometimes. I'll show you better hiding spots and how I got the ship. But we'll continue on, like, underneath these ducts. Oh, lag. Okay, because, yeah, let's face it, not many people will check their ship before taking off. I mean, that's how I get the ships I do sometimes, is I won't ever kill anyone, but I'll just wait until, you know, they're off doing a mission or they get themselves killed or whatnot, and then we'll take their ship. So this is more of the front entrance, so to speak. You do have a little, I'm going to try to use it. I'm pretty sure I saw a use here sometime, but this is one of those docking collars for like smaller ships, like say the RSI Aurora, which will be coming in a later video. Like I said, I'm just doing the Starfarer because I happened to get my hands on one. Took it around for a flight. This thing's a beast, but it can't dogfight very well, as a cargo ship would. So yeah, this is just the docking bay area if you need to get a hold of smaller ships. So we'll continue on down, and this pretty much concludes the bottom bay area. You get your cargo area, seating, and then, you know, docking control, and whatever that computer processor is. And I'm sorry if the frame rate's a little lower. It is Star Citizen after all, and there's a lot going on. Alright, so we're going to continue down here, and this is just pretty much a large walk-around catwalk that you can use. You can also get some pretty good eyesights on your enemies if you just kind of sit right here. They'll have a tough time looking for you because, let's face it, they're not looking up. and you'll be able to see things quite clearly there. So, back to the rear of the ship. Here we've got the outside, and I'm going to be very cautious here because I don't want to fling off into space. But this is where your... Like I said, I got to be careful here. This is where your... like, fuel storage, if you're the base Gemini, or the marine drop pods, I believe. That's where these would be. But as you can see, it is outside, and sometimes... if you go too fast, you'll get launched into EVA. Yep, and that is exactly what happens. So I died, and I'm gonna hope I can get back to the Starfarer in time. So that is exactly what I was gonna be, you know, cautious about, but that's why I didn't want to go out the hangar. Because that stuff happens, which is unfortunate, but, you know. Star Citizen Alpha, work in progress. Oh yeah, and make sure that if you're playing Star Citizen Alpha 2.4, make sure that you put on your spacesuit, which you can do. You'll be able to see this, like, helmet-looking thing, so you'll know if it's on or not. But make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to have a very, very bad time. Okay, so for simplicity... I can actually go ahead and call that up now. Actually, I don't want to do that. I was going to call the Aurora, but I'm afraid if I call the Aurora, it'll delete the MISC Starfarer, at least the waypoint. So yeah, what I love about Star Citizen 2 is... in one of these airlocks, I was following a guy and he didn't have a spacesuit on. I tried to tell him, no, don't, you know, because we all know what happens with decompression and all that. Oh yeah, and if you actually do own a Starfarer or you want to get one, these bays are where they would be found. These are basically called Bay 00. But, yeah, so make sure you have your spacesuit on. I witnessed a guy dying from decompression. I've died a few times. Primarily because my character was invisible and I had no idea if he had his suit on or not. But yeah, so there's our Starfarer. A giant lumbering beast. And one thing I'm quite happy about is they put faster EVA. So, you know, sprint mode. I'm actually going to turn down the volume just real quickly while I'm hurtling towards this thing. Alright, hopefully you'll be able to hear me better while we're doing this. Although I have absolutely no idea. Okay, so since I'm here, I may as well give you a quick outside tour. So, this is the cockpit up here. Maybe. Hold on. Yeah, so up here is the cockpit. Oh, and this is actually the Starfarer Gemini version because it has these missiles on it. And it says right there, so. But yeah, those are some missiles that are mounted in the nose. These are the Combine guns. There are 2 of them on each side. 2 there, 2 over there. These 2 got destroyed, so... And then here's the cockpit, or the, you know, whatever. Now, under here, I believe, right over... Hold on, let me turn on the flashlight. It should be over here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Here's where your docking ports are on the outside. Here's the one on the bottom. And then one on the sides. Right up here.
Pilots stand clear of the engagement.
Well, it's somewhere around here. You guys saw it. I think it's over to the side a little more. But yeah, that's where those doors are for the docking. And then over to the side, we'll get its side profile really quickly. So yeah, this is the biggest ship we've seen in Star Citizen, and there are more. There are probably ships 3, 4, 5 times this size that are coming soon, hopefully. The Idris being one of them, the... oh, what is it? I can't remember all of them, but the Idris, the Javelin-class destroyer, and the Idris is a frigate, by the way. Then there are battleships in the game, both UNSC and Vanduul. And in theory, we'll... yep, that's what I expected. So in theory, once, you know, our Star Citizen gets their stuff together, we should be able to easily climb up onto that. But as it stands right now, there's kind of an issue with getting on. But I can show you how this works. So you come over here and basically come close to this button, stand back, and then the cargo bay sits down and will align up to the ground. So this is how you put your cargo in and, you know, whatnot if you're into logistics. So about here is where you'll get gravity. And then you can just close it back. So let's continue on with our tour. Except not go outside again. Okay, so back to here. This is the outside, so, yep. This, again, just the catwalk. The other side's the same, except, I think, let me double check here. Yeah, one major difference is that side has a ladder on it. So, some more of that, like, cargo netting stuff, small things, probably nothing great. More processor controls, capacitor control. Something here, I'm sure that's gonna have to do with, like, a mini game for, like, the repair. Because hopefully soon we'll have it so that ships start slowly getting destroyed instead of immediately blowing up. But we'll go ahead and move up to the next level, up these flight of stairs. And this is where all of basically the systems are. So this is probably going to be another minigame area. And then you've got your lift access here. And you can use this, or you can climb up that ladder. So either way. But this just goes up into the crew quarter. So I'm going to go back down and maybe... basically... okay, yeah, I'm just going to hop down on the ladder. But basically, that's crew. We'll get back to that. So this is the third level. And we've got some more access panels, you know, mini-game stuff, basically. This is also another way up to the crew. Same thing, lift and ladder. And then you get over here into what I've heard been called, I think, Jeffrey tubes or something. But down here is where you get up from that... excuse me. Down here is where you get up from that catwalk. So, let me go ahead and show you that real quick. So, yeah, we went up around over the stairs. I don't think there are stairs on this side. There aren't. So, you can take the ladder up. Basically, more paneling, more armor, you know, that sort of thing. Alright, so, we continue on here, and this leads into this hallway, which, you know, more stuff, more access panels down in here. Not going prone. And you're able to crawl. So this is also a good spot to hide, because I guarantee most crew and pilot won't check here. So, like, the larger ships, honestly, are a lot easier to take over if you're gonna do it stealthily, because no one's paying attention. These ships are huge, absolutely huge, and no one's paying attention to you. These, I believe, are ejection pods. An emergency doors may close without warning. Yeah, I think these are ejection pods. Yep, escape 1, escape 2. So, I think there are more on this side. Let me check real quick. Nope. Yep, they are. So this, I can only contemplate being the engine, perhaps. Or perhaps it's like a shield generator or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I mean, it looks fairly big, fairly important, and can handle a lot of energy. So that's what I think it is. So over here, I believe this is the gravity generator for the ship. Kind of looks like one, so... yeah, small little room right in the middle, 3rd floor again. Another small hallway. That wasn't there on the other side, I don't think. But this just leads more of these small little, you know, ventilation areas. Another good place to hide, unless if the ship's on fire or needs repair. This just leads to the other side, standard stuff. But what I really like about this ship is it's kind of like it's a really good multi-crew ship, if everyone knows what they're doing. I know, yeah, you can kind of stand in these. I'll show you when we get to the cockpit. Oh god. Well, at least I didn't die, but there might be a problem here. Yeah, so this is what I was meaning, is that guy's probably trying to get into contact with me. Or maybe it's the guy I stole it from. But, nope. Oh god. Oh god. I've made mistakes. I'm making more mistakes. Stop it. Mistakes are being made. But I don't know if this guy, you know, came in here or not, because I'm talking, I'm not really listening to what's going on. I sure hope not, but there's a good possibility. So if our ship starts flying and I'm gonna have to get into a firefight, that's why there's a guy on the ship that I stole. We'll find out. Okay, yeah. So this game is still, like I said, a bit buggy, but is what it is. You can only have so much. So we'll continue on back to where we were. Okay, I am not gonna step into those escape pods now. So back to everything, and then we just go back here. There's just more of those like little tubes. And if we're still alive, which it looks like we are. Okay, so this is, you gotta be cautious here. But you can come back here and you get this really cool turret animation. And you get flipped upside down, which is awesome. And then should be outside. Oh god. Oh god. Yep. So just remember, it's alpha, but that might be another bug. I don't know what's going on. But we'll go ahead and get out of it. So you hold left Alt and F to get out of anything. So just in case any of you guys are a little new to patch 2.4, I know I was. I couldn't figure it out at first. They changed a lot. So hopefully we don't get ourselves drastically murdered. I spoke too soon. You know, it'd be much easier to do this ship review if it was in the hangar, because I wouldn't have to be worried about getting launched into the side and out of my ship in little pieces. So we're going to try this again. And hopefully the ship's still there, because really all we've got is the living quarters and the cockpit left. I mean, we don't have a lot left to do. But I still want to show off the rest of it, because that little rest of it is really cool. So again, get on the spacesuit, and it's not flying away, which is nice. You know, there's probably guys trying to get, you know, in contact with me, like, oh, hey, can I get, you know, ride in your Gemini or whatever? But I can't look up the chat, because that's also what I use to start and stop Bandicam, which is my recording software. It's not the best recording software, but it's what I have, so that's what I get to deal with. Alright, so back over here, and I hope doesn't get stolen. Oh, I think it's gonna get stolen. Oh, I sure hope not. I sure hope not. I mean, it's a giant ship. I should have parked it somewhere else. Not on here. But, you know, not in the middle of space. At least, like, maybe another 10,000 meters away. Like I said, I just hope it doesn't get stolen. Because if it does, I guarantee the guys in it are probably going to try and shoot me for coming in. You know, even though it's not their ship. then again, it's not my ship either, so... Again, but we should be able to get this done beforehand. But yeah, the other side of that is basically the other turret, so I'm not going to even try and head down that way. Wow, there's a lot going on here. I picked a bad spot. Hey, dude. How's it going? I don't know. They might be doing the same thing I am. Doubt it, but you never know. Hey there, bug. Got my door open and bugs are flying in. Because, you know, it's warm in here, cold out there. But I'll have to deal with that later. So I casually don't want to let other people in. But, I mean, they're going to get in anyway, so I'm going to try and just close the door on them. And try and get this review done as quickly as possible. So, okay, so, we'll do that next. Here is, or we'll do the 4th floor, or the crew quarters next. So, this, I'm assuming, is probably just hangar bay controls, you know, whatnot. But this is basically an escape pod deck. So this is where all the command crew bails out. But this is what we have. We've got 2 screens over here, co-pilot and pilot, and then we've got basically like the commander chair. So this is what the commander chair looks like. It's really nothing special, it's just a chair. But you get to oversee everything that goes on, and I'll just show you the pilot's seat really quickly. And I'm actually gonna try and bail out, you know, leave if I can. But yeah, this is what it feels like to fly this ship. As you can see, it's not very fast, even in a straight line, and it takes a long time to accelerate. But, I mean, hey, it looks cool. But yeah, this is what you will get. You press Z to get this sort of screen, but you can see out. I mean, the viewing angles are not good. MISC, the in-game company, is not known for that. But we've got a few different control panels, you know, over here, all that sort of thing. You can see your fuel levels there. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the ship, because we should be at least far enough away from most people. Yeah, so. Oh god, nope, I don't want to do that. Just a little bit too far forwards. And game crash. Sorry about that, guys, but as soon as I actually get this game, or the ship in-game, I can do a review on it, or maybe I can get something else. I'm sorry for that, guys, but, you know, disconnection. There's not a lot I can do. So that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and leave that video there. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, punch that subscribe button, you know, leave a comment down below. And I'm actually really curious, what ships do you guys want me to try and do reviews on? I know that wasn't really technical overview. I can do a more technical overview when I actually have the ships and don't have to worry about it. But that's what I'm sitting at now, so yeah, peace.